All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise to you. How about Shema Shabbat Thumb? This is sincere greeting to all the Israelites scattered across these four corners, teaching His word with sincerity and charity. Man, I just wanted to just do a video real quick on us versus us. Man, I may get into this a little deeper another time, another class. This to show how it's just always been internal battles. Um, that has destroyed Israel. I know with the 70 AD scenario, because one side didn't help fight, man, we ended up fighting each other, man, and the Romans really didn't even have to do too much work to seize Jerusalem. We know about the northern and southern kingdom. We know that split was totally internal. Um, where we wanted to oppress each other. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to oppress the northern kingdom and make them work even harder than Solomon had them working when he was building the temple. Um, but this is just like I say, man. It's countless events where these things have happened, where we've destroyed each other, where we've persecuted each other. And I heard brother say one time, man, that was Deacon, man. He said it's gonna be, because of you letting these Gentile nations in, that these Gentiles gonna be the one. Some Israelite group is gonna be the first one to get killed by a Gentile. But for me, it ain't the Gentiles. And to be honest, the only camp that's been shot at camp was a Israelite versus a Israelite, and it came from Sakar. That event happened to Sakar, where an Israelite ran up on an Israelite and shot up the camp. Um, and so now we see our brothers teaching now with AK assault rifles and so forth, and even when we get in the gun, man, if we just totally honest, man, what are your thoughts when you're in that gun shop and you're looking for a pistol, man? Who are you buying that pistol from? Who are you buying that pistol? Who do you think you're gonna shoot that pistol? There's certain neighborhoods we go in and we clutch that pistol or we put one in the chamber. Us versus us, man. Us versus us. So I wanted to share this video real quick. I had seen on Sonetta Studios. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I wanted to share this video I seen on Sonetta Studios with FOPE Israelite group is going. They want to debate the 12 tribe charts. This is a Negro only Israelite group, and they want to debate the 12 tribes chart with ISUBK, who identifies with the 12 tribes chart that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites. All right, this was supposed to be a debate, but ultimately the debate is not happening now because one group would decided that, well, they just said it in the video that they wanted to pull up Joker's IDs and show their family and show their genealogy to show or to prove that they're not an Israelite. And I got mixed feelings about that. I don't think you should be looking up nobody's history and so forth, da 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 da. But people information is there. You could look up my information. People information in there, and then you got to know who you bringing into these organizations. It's a twofold thing, but at the end of the day, too, man, some people can take this information and this COINTELPRO and be giving this information to somebody else. It's like a pick your poison kind of thing. Like, what are you gonna do? But let me show a little bit of this thing. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me show a little bit of this thing, man, and just show where Israel at when it comes to love thy neighbor as thyself. You know what I'm saying? This kind of solves it, but this is sums up the law. But man, this man, we so far from this thing, man. We got a ways to go.
They ran already too, brother.
I could get
All of
gorilla
them ran. Yes.
So at this point, brothers, Captain Tazariak already said that the Captain Katazar was not going to do the debate because of these things that FOPE was saying. And And now Sarnetta said, well, I can get Gorilla Hebrew, and he kind of already debated the chart against another brother. I'm sure he probably won't want to do that all over again. Just watch the other video, but let's listen to the FOPE Negro Only Camp.
They ran. Hey, son, remember you said this, call a bluff? Remember you said call a bluff, Cesaria? Mm-hmm. And you said don't run, Shashan? Who running, sir?
So who else you think you would like to take on besides ISUPK? Is there anybody else out there?
Look, let me say Shalom and Most High bless. I
don't know if y'all can see, but even look at my screen at the bottom. Gorilla Hebrew ain't no Israelite. Why don't you bait the Gorilla Hebrew on the 12 drive? So where's Black Jesus Minister? But yeah. This stuff all over the place, man.
Get back to work, but grace and peace, everybody.
Peace, brother. Shalom.
Brother, anybody. All I'm going to run. Anybody, brother. Anybody, period. Anybody. All of
them. Look at these statements. They say they indigenous to America. Then they say they were brought over here on the slave ships. And this is what I'm saying, man. Like, we think we know history, man. We think we know history, but there are a lot of holes. And until we can really just sit down and say, hey, man, it's a lot of holes, man. We can't. You don't get a lot of information out of Genesis 49, man. Like, if any information at all. But man, you don't know much about history. You don't even know your own history. We don't even know our own history. It's hard to, it's hard for jokers jokers even arguing about, did we even come here on slave ships? Oh, well, we already here. Where the slave ships at? And what my people always said they were Native Americans. And I can see that too, because none of my people told me they were African. All my ancestors, if I asked my mama or asked my grandma or great grandma, they said they were Indian. Oh, grandma, great grandma, she was Indian. Ain't nobody said they were African. But I can look at my grandparents on my dad's side. I'm like, man. But and not to say they lying, but man, I'm just saying, man, there's some holes there. I get it.
I'm gonna run. Anybody, brother.
About the 12 tribe, do you think that tears down their whole foundation if y'all expose it?
It tears down their finances. It tears down them screwing white women. That's what it does. Point blank period. It tears down tribal. It tears down mixing. It tears down. It's putting other people in the same fight that we going through, right? Or you can't say Negro, right? It tears down the Negro spiritual aspect of our captivity in America, the civil rights movement, right? They tearing all that down and trying to say everybody going through the same thing that we going through. I don't see Hispanics. I don't see all these other people being choked out for selling damn cigarettes, or being hung like Sandra Bland in a damn jail cell, or being shot down like Trayvon Martin. I don't see that. I don't see them ever saying we shall overcome. I don't see that. Right? In Mexico, black.
See, now we comparing black and brown. And I'm saying if we can't even get this right, if we can't get this right, and we're living with these folks, we living among these folks, if we can't see that black and brown deal with some of the same struggles, man, like how we gonna sit up there and talk about what these other countries are doing? And what's happening in Ukraine, and what's happening in Syria, and what's happening in Saudi Arabia, and what's happening in Australia, and what's happening in Chile, and what's happening in Kenya, and Ghana, and South Africa, and like we don't know what's happening there. We can't even see what's happening amongst each other. And he's not saying this to be spiteful. He just don't know. He don't see it. He's saying he don't see it. Now, I believe that he don't see it, but that don't mean it ain't happening. And you're probably not in the community to see it. But that don't mean it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Are you even talking to people? And that's the thing about, having those groups within the organization. is that you can hear their issues, but you're not speaking to Latinos. You're not speaking to, natives to hear, what their ills is with the society and how these things are running, or how they feel, if they feel they oppressed, or if what I'm saying, if they're getting locked up unjustly. Just the fact that they sneaking over here should show you that things are a little problematic.
Black people just being 3 years ago just being recognized. I don't see that. I don't see them have to fight for civil rights, right?
He said, I don't see them having to fight for civil rights.
It's black people in America that's going through this, but they want to put other people in the same fight that we in, right? This is what you stood for, Sonetta.
And in black America, just so oppressed, and we just got this mega fight that we have to deal with, man. Native, these Latino, they ain't going through that mess. That's what he's saying.
That's what you stand for now, right? They want to put them in the same shit. Bull crap. They not going through the same stuff. They don't have the same plight that we have. They could come from Puerto Rico. They could come from Mexico and walk right across the border and don't get locked up. But you go out there and sell your CD, your tape, anywhere, and they'll lock your ass up. Try to sell water. They'll do it to you. But these people come here and work illegally for free, right? Yeah. They can get...
Why would he say it now? I know he probably just said this out of anger, but they work illegally for free. Like, he just so angry he ain't even putting these words together. But yeah, they're over here working illegally. And they're working jobs that the Negro do not want to work. They're starting businesses that the Negro does not want to start. You Negroes don't want to own no convenience store. That store was sitting up there closed for darn 10 years. Till that Arab came over here and opened that store. You did not want to run that store. You did not want to be in no convenience store with bulletproof glass going around. And you're having to watch jokers to see if they gonna steal. You did not want to put no slot machines in that store. And you could have just got that store, rented that stuff. All those products that are in that store, they give you that stuff first. Once you sell it, then you re-up. You re-up and you write the check on the re-up. But they give it to you initially first for you to sell it. They gonna bring them Coke products in there before you hand them $1. And then when they come back and they have to refill it, they see, okay, well, this many products were sold, they gonna get that check. I worked at a bakery. I'll tell you about it because that's my last, but they fronted the cakes first. If you had a restaurant, you went up there, they talk to you, they tell you what the price is. You can easily get a double up, triple up on our prices. They give them the cakes that they need, and then when they need more cakes, they write the check for the last order of cakes that they had. They write the check for the cakes that that they initially had and they sold. And that's how that thing works, man. But I know that's how a lot of I don't know if everything works that way, but man, you niggas don't want no darn Shalaki. Y'all Negroes don't want no you don't want to work in no convenience store, man. Them folks there 7 days a week. It got the store next to me, right on the corner. I stay 50 yards from the store, and this one joker working there every day from 9 to 9. Y'all don't want to do that. Most of us want to close on Sunday and Monday. We work the Sabbath, but we don't want them jobs, man. A lot of these jokers is illegally working at the chicken plant. I know it's a chicken plant. They come pick my Latino brothers up and take them down there to the chicken. Ain't no Negro sitting in line waiting on no chicken. Ain't no Negro sitting at that store. Well, it's a few. It's a few. I know in Atlanta, it's a few. You go down Wesley Chapel, you go in front of Home Depot, Wesley Chapel. It's a mix. It's a mixed breed, but it ain't many. It ain't many of them other folk. There ain't many little hats out there that's waiting in front of that Home Depot to get any kind of work somebody will pull up on them for. All right, they don't get no unemployment. They don't get no darn. They are illegally here. They're not supposed to be here. And they finesse away, man. I remember at Chili's, when I was working at Chili's, man, we had about 5 Latinos get fired because they had bad paperwork. But they came back 2 days later with new paperwork. And they went on, hired them folks and kept them going. Why? Because can't nobody stay in that kitchen and cook like, man, come on, man. Ain't nobody finna run that kitchen like them Latinos, man.
Public assistance anywhere for free. We have to fight.
Let me see.
I don't see that. I don't see them have to fight for civil rights, right? It's black people in America that's going through this, but they want to put other people in the same fight that we in, right? This is what you stood for, Sarnetta. This is what you stand for now, right? They want to put them in the same shit. Bull crap. They not going through the same stuff. They don't have the same plight that we have. They could come from Puerto Rico. They could come from Mexico and walk right across the border and don't get locked up. But you go out there and sell your CD, your tape, anywhere, and they'll lock your ass up. Try to sell water, they'll do it to you. But these...
And then just, come on, man. You know these folk getting locked up at the darn border. They talking about taking our money, taking our hard-earned tax money to build that wall. Been building it.
People come here and work illegally for free, right? Yeah. They can get public assistance anywhere for free. We have to fight.
They can get public assistance. I don't know how true that is.
Cry and crawl for everything that we do. And everybody else leech off of it. And they want to bring these other people in because they hot for the ass. They hot for the ass. That's what it's about. And let's be real about it. I'm yelling because my passion, I'm sick and tired of it. That's what it's about. That's what it is. I apologize for yelling, brother. But we've been dealing with this for years. We're dealing with this for years, brother. It's a
there goes some information right there. Puerto Rico is a state.
Damn shame. And they want to down our sisters all the damn time. She can't speak. She can't talk unless she's spoken to. God says she can't speak. She can't do.
They get driver licenses now. Doesn't need a social security number. They think Mexican and blacks are the same people, discrediting DNA.
She can't do that. That's a lie. Women are teachers in our community. What about Rosa Parks? Right? What about all the
Rosa Parks?
Black women in our community that create and do things. You see why Captain Zaryak ran? Because he saw a champion on the stage in Shawshank. He saw it. He saw a champion in Neftali, in a woman. He saw it. They only take fights they can think they can win. This is why he ran from me, because I know how to talk it. I know how to talk it and about it in the scriptures and history about it when it comes to this Israelite stuff. The stuff y'all deal with, y'all could probably get me on. But when it comes to this Israel stuff, the holes in it. We know it. We know it. And they know it.
And that's the thing about the chart. Yeah, it's holes in it, but y'all got to have the answers. Like, you just can't, you can't just say it's wrong and that be the end of the conversation. Who are the people? You'll have to defend your stance and tell us who are the people. Who are them then? Who are the 12 tribes? Just give us, you need your own chart. It has to be chart against chart. Which is more valid? Which one do we have more information for? And that's my thing about the chart debate. You know, I have my questions about it too, but I don't have the answers. You can question all day, but if you don't have the answers, man, hey man, you know, you can say, but if you got to have the answers. You got to do the work. You got to finish the work. But a lot of times we're doing the work just to try to confound someone, or just to make it, just to point at someone and say, well, y'all wrong. But what's the answer though? You just can't tell me 2 + 2 ain't 4. Just show me the math and show me what the answer is. And then I can go with you. Or I can at least evaluate your work and then see, yeah, that add up. Yeah, that's 6.
How they are saying right now the people in Egypt on the walls look like cockers up. You believe that?
And see, that's what I'm saying. This thing comes down to picture scholars. A lot of our work comes down to pictures, man. We're not doing the research that we need to do. I don't even do the research. So But that's the thing, man. You wanna, I don't know, man. I want, so you be wanting people to teach you, but you just you just know that they ain't doing the work, man. I've just been deceived too much. I've been deceived by too many memes and too many false information. I've been deceived too much to just take, that little basic scholarship. Man, we're finna go to Jacob's Dynasty. They did a good video about thirsting for righteousness. Make sure y'all like and sub and subscribe to these brothers' channel. Jacob's Dynasty. A couple brothers that used to build with us. Hungry and thirsty for righteousness. Let me see here.
And your current.
And I'm finna see. He's talking about hunger. I might have. No. Here we go. So we can see, because like I say, man, black people. The reason we complain so much, because all we see is us at the bottom. We don't know the bottoms of the bottoms of the bottoms. We don't know what it's like to eat no darn dirt cake. And we don't sympathize, or we don't have no empathy towards that, because it's not us. I say this all the time too about when they say they having natural disasters and Syria, they just bombed it and the thing happened, the building collapsed, 5,000 people just died. Or when they seen the Twin Tower, man, or the tsunami hitting Asia, or a hurricane blacking out Puerto Rico for months and months and months. Man, how much did we really sympathize with them folks? And a lot of times, no, man. It's just news. It's just news. It's just another natural disaster. Even on the West Coast, with the snow, and people out because of these storms, man. Not many of us. And I had got this from this. I heard this comedian say this, man. He was like, you want to sympathize with the people and say, dang, that's messed up, but it don't make you cry. You ain't watching it with tears rolling down your face and just, man, that's terrible. Because we got numb to it. And maybe it's just me, but the comics with me, because he said it, and that comedy has a little truth to it. It's squeamish, but unless it really, really tapped you and affected you, it's not. You be there for a little second, you'll say, dang, that's messed up, and then you're going back to your day.
Fat and bones to make broth or whatever they can use to make a broth. Have no food. They're actually buying fat and bones.
What?
Yeah, they don't have actual meat. They're buying fat and bones.
We talking about Venezuela. We actually have a brother from Venezuela who, by other camps, who've been called an Edomite. By other camps, you know what I'm saying? But this is what we dealing with. This is what I'm saying. The phenotype doctrine, that's problematic. Especially if you saying Isaiah 11:11, we scattered across all nations, and this thing was written 2,000 years ago, man. I wish I had that video, man, to show y'all. Vocab did a video showing that Abba Bivens, one of the founders of this One West Israelism thing, of One West, his grandkids are white. His grandkids are totally white. They look totally white. And they speak what we call Yiddish. And that was his grandkids. And they already go. That's what I'm saying. The phenotype, but and Vocab was saying, well, they walked up on the camp. Initially, I say, yeah, now this thing ain't for you. Now understand that they grandfather started it.
Bones to make broth or whatever they can use to make a broth or something just to eat. Wow. And the meat that they do have is spoiled, rotten meat.
Now it's less about meat and more about hooves, fat, tripe, and bones. Animal offcuts have become the affordable option for Venezuelans, priced out by hyperinflation. Anything makes a good soup or stew. Y jefe, lo veo comprando pellejo. Y todo. Es lo que le alcanza. Antes podía comprar.
They went in there, you said, I see you in there, you just buying some fat. Just buying some fat. Jokers just boiling bones to feed their family. Wow, we have so much food, man. It's so much food here. It's ridiculous, man. I seen a white woman. She dumpster dives from the grocery stores. She knows what day that new produce comes in and that stuff that they gonna throw out, and she gets the stuff that's already wrapped up, and she tries to preserve it by juicing it or doing other things, or go ahead and cooking all the stuff to preserve it. And she's well off. She's not someone that's poor. She just knows it's free. She just knows it's free. But even her dumping in there, she still done had police run up on her. It's a documentary. Just Google dumpster diving or YouTube. Put it in YouTube, dumpster diving. And they call the police on her and try to make her stop, to stop her from doing it. Even though they threw it away, you're trying to stop somebody from man, this place is crazy. But we have people here. We have the Venezuelans eating bones, man. You ever seen somebody not know how to eat chicken and leave all the meat on the darn wing?
Rotten beef is also sold here in this market. It smells strong. It's got flies all over it. Y la gente come eso, lo compra.
Pero ¿cómo que imagínate que van a hacer? Lo más barato. Pienso que como está la situación, la gente compra lo que sea ahorita para el consumo. Porque no tiene con qué pagar un kilo de carne, no puede comprar un kilo de pollo, la gente no tiene cómo comprar un kilo de pollo porque el dinero no le abastece.
A kilo of beef costs up to a third of the monthly minimum wage and would provide...
It's a third of the monthly minimum wage. A kilo. Let's say about 2.5, 2.25 pounds of beef. It costs a third of the minimum wage. Oh man, I done sat here.
For Venezuelans, priced out by hyperinflation.
Man, that looked terrible.
Imagínate que van a hacer lo más barato. La gente no tiene cómo comprar un kilo de pollo porque el dinero no le abastece.
A kilo of beef costs up to a third of the monthly minimum wage and would provide maybe a couple of meals, but this rotten beef is 1% of a salary.
That's how bad it is, but they're doing whatever they can do to eat. Why? Because they know that it's a necessity to live. You gotta have some type of nutrition, something in your body, and they're going to the extremes to get that in the body.
They say every 4 seconds. I looked at a couple statistics on let me close this thing out. Stop sharing. I looked at a few statistics on starvation, and it says every 4 seconds somebody starves to death. Every 4 seconds, somebody dies from starvation. And man, we be over here, man. We Day of Atonement, but we be acting like we about to die. Day of Atonement come, we act like we about to starve to death. Cause we never felt that pain. We never really felt that starving pain. We ain't felt that. I didn't. Maybe y'all have. I ain't never felt it. I ain't never felt that kind of starving pain where I always had something. It's always been a place. And I know most Americans always have. That's why crackheads don't ask for food, man. It's very rare they gonna ask you for food. And if they asking you for food, they may take a couple bites and they'll be trying to sell it. Be trying to sell plates. I had a crackhead try to give me some shoes the other day. I gotta think about myself. I gotta present myself. Trying to give me some shoes, man. But we in a place that is not going through that, and we not even Like I say, we not grateful for that. We don't never think, thank the Most High for, even having us in a position or having us in a place where, we're not eating out. We ain't got to eat out the dumpster, or we're not eating rotten meat, or we in a place we have bountiful stuff, fruits, but all this stuff fake or whatever. But whatever, you're not starving to death. You're actually obese. I'm actually obese, highly overweight. We actually overeating. We actually eating ourselves to death. We not starving to death. We letting the flesh overtake us, and we eating ourselves to death. And this is how we can say, hey, man, they not going through. No, we not going through what they going through. There are several different nations of people that if y'all are not saying these folks in Israel, who going through what we going? Man, are you crazy? That's a crazy statement, man. When you know what's going on, but a lot of times we don't know what's going on. All we know is what's in America. So that statement has validation in America. Who's going through what we going through in America? But when you look at other countries, man, majority of these other countries, maybe 95% of these other countries, blacks in America are doing better than them. They're doing better. They have more. They have medical care. You even got folks talking about universal health care and all this stuff, man. Folks over these other countries, man, they arm broke. They ain't never had no darn brace on it. And they just done went through their life with their arm broken, still broke. It's just tissue in between it. They on and they still trying to work and do all this stuff. Well, the ligaments is still working, but the arm is broke. And so we got to start looking at things in a worldview, man. Start appreciating things and thanking the Most High, man. And just do what we need to do to make our lives better. If that's what we're trying to achieve. We want a better life. We got to start doing those things that's going to produce that. But if producing that, we can't be. One of the keys to this thing is us coming together. And if we're pointing fingers at other brothers and saying, well, these people did this and these people, they have this, they wouldn't be crossing that border if they had some. When no immigrant be crossing that border if they had something in whatever country they coming from. You still have chattel slavery. It's still chattel slavery going on in some of these countries. You still have people getting kidnapped. You still have our daughters and sisters are getting missing in America, but man, how much more so in some of these African countries? To the point of jokers over here trying to act like they concerned. I remember Oprah Winfrey, man, return our girls. Like, man, everybody was on the trip too. All the celebrities was on the trip. Then them girls came back, man. I seen one little girl, man. She said her dad cut her finger off. Her finger was cut off. She had a big gouge in the middle of her forehead, like somebody might have hit her with a cleaver or something. And she was an orphan. He left her. He brought her to that village and left her. Like, that's what happens there. Even that thing in what was that movie, man? I forget that movie with Viola Davis in it, man. Woman King. We was over there, man. That was they was selling us, man. It was us selling us. If you gonna take the stance of that, the Israelites only, they only have the phenotype of the Negro. Like, the Latinos are it, but only the Negro Latinos. Like, nah, they can't be Israelites if they have any admixture with them. And we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and doing business and trade throughout these four corners in Spain, in North Africa, and in West Africa, and Egypt, in Germany and Syria and Babylon. Like, come on, y'all. Like, we gotta. It's so many things we're basing this thing on, but you know, it's just not based. You don't have all the history, man. I gotta say, we don't even know our own history. We have no idea, man. We have no idea except these folks they give us. If them folks didn't never give us no Black History Month and put them down and gave these people certain awards and, you know, Nobel Peace Prizes and documented some of this stuff, man, we wouldn't know who these folks is. That's why they gotta have things like national Black museums and stuff like that, and we gotta go there and we see them and be like, oh wow, no, I ain't know that. What you mean? No, I ain't know that, man. Oh wow. See, the first Black millionaire, and he man, we invented this and we invented that. But we wouldn't know that unless these folk told them. We don't know our history. We only know what they tell us. And so us trying to build a case and so you know, and spending so much energy on who's not, who is and who's not, spending a lot of energy on that, man. I don't, man, we got too much other work to do, man. This for me, we just got too much work. Too much work to do, man. Too much healing to do amongst ourselves before we can even go out here and be a light. Like, we can't really even be a light amongst each other because of the hatred we have inside of the body of Christ or the body of Israelites. The hatred that we have amongst each other, man, amongst these, you know, camps, hating camps, you know, people who are not in camps, they hating camps, they hating bodies. And, you know, even though the church has different ideologies and the church is separated, you don't see them fighting and bickering like we do, though, man. You know, they'll give some doctrine correction, but you know, they ain't trying to pull up on nobody. They ain't trying to put out nobody's information like that. It's a few here and there, but I'm just speaking generally. I'm just generalizing. Like, I don't see it like that. Not saying it don't happen. I just saying I don't see it. I don't see us getting to just heated debates and heated arguments about who is and who's not. When we can come together, when we got all this other stuff to be dealing with. We got all this other stuff to be dealing with, man. And these things cause divisions. These eternal affairs have always happened. Israel has always fought amongst each other. We've always fought each other. And this is how we, you know, ultimately get destroyed. You know, it's sin, but it's also us, man. And that's a sin because we don't love our neighbor as thyself. We still having to question, who is the Samaritan? And it gave you the parable of the you know what I'm saying, the great Samaritan. The good Samaritan. And a Pharisee come asking, well, who's the Samaritan? Who's the northern kingdom? That ain't the northern kingdom. This the northern kingdom right here. Only my dark-skinned brothers. And these are the arguments we have. We still having the same arguments from 2,000 years ago. And at some point, man, we just gotta, you know, you just gotta go with what we go with. You don't believe that, got you. But we gotta move how we gonna move, man. And we gotta come together. And there ain't no greater people to come together with than those we know that's having these same struggles, these same problems. All right, it's black and browns filling up the prisons. For a brother to say Latinos don't go to prison, for a brother to say Latinos ain't gang members and killing each other, and the cartels ain't down there shooting each other left and right, for a brother to say that Latinos don't go through the same things and the same persecution that the so-called Negro goes through, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I ain't never had to eat rotten meat. I ain't never had to feed that to my child. I don't have no children, but I ain't never had to get to that point. I feel in this place I could always go get a nice hot meal. I just gotta drop my pride. I just gotta operate in humility. Anybody who can operate in 100% humility, you can sit in front of that darn KFC or whatever, Pizza Hut, whatever food that you want, whatever nice, you can go to a nice restaurant. You can sit in front of Ruth Chris and just ask somebody, man, can you just give me a chicken tender? You know, can you know, if you sit out there 30 minutes to an hour, you'll get you a good meal. You might walk out of that thing with a tomahawk ribeye, with somebody blessing you. But a lot of times we too prideful for that. We're too prideful, so we'll find us a can of something down there and eat it. But yeah, man, my brother was telling me, man, I had a brother in Venezuela that was, well, not he from Venezuela, but he was telling me, man, that you know, they don't get a choice. It just say meat. It just say chicken. It ain't no Purdue and darn, what's that East Carolina or East Georgia? It's Claxton chicken. They had them leg quarters for $5. Whole bag of leg quarters, $5. Whole bag. But again, man, we are obese people. But there's struggles, man. There's struggles that we have no idea. Just like we've went through certain struggles within that transatlantic slave trade that, other people have no idea. But this struggle still happening amongst the world. They said 900 million people, or something like that, man, that die every year of starvation. There's things that's happening in this world, man. We can't experience, especially today, especially this generation and the last couple generations, because we've had so much abundance. We've been given so much. They don't even know designer in them other places, man. I seen this video called and I'm a close out with it. I seen this video called the Congo Dandies. The Congo Dandies. And they went over and they fought for the France in the military, a lot of them. But they live in tin huts in dirt roads. But they getting the military check, or they were getting the military check. And so and they using credit cards. But they would go to France and they would buy designer clothes, and they would wear these clothes. Just every, they'll wear them, they'll wear them every now and then. They might have been every day, maybe. But anyway, they had this ceremony where they would announce like the greatest Congo dandy. And he would, everybody would dress up, and then they would vote on who had the best clothes. And they were spending $5,000 on shoes, $10,000 on suits. But they stayed in, they was on dirt roads, didn't have a car, had to walk to the river to get water, no power, so forth. And even when I see IUIC go over there to when they planted and put boots on the ground over there in some of those African countries, some of their members didn't have electricity, didn't have, stayed in tin houses. And the arms and stuff was given to these individuals to have, to have better amenities in raising their children. But at the same time, how do you do that in the village where don't nobody else have it? Think about that. Where it's only one person with electricity, or it's only one person that has this and that, and then the rest of the village is looking at them. You can endanger that person. But we don't have those. Well, we do. You put certain car out there, you put certain luxuries out there, and that's luxury for them. That's basic stuff for us, but that's luxury. That's luxury for those organizations. But I ain't gonna ramble on y'all. I just want y'all to see that, man, that us versus us, man. We got to do better, Israel. We got to do better amongst the body, man, and have to sit down and see how we can reconcile some of these differences that we have. And how can we build? We don't even have no plan. Ain't no plan for Israel. There's no plan. And even if the plan, watch this, even if the plan is 1 Kings 8, 45 through 50, or, even if the plan is waiting for Yahushua to return, even if the plan is magnifying our office to the fullness of the Gentiles come in. Even if, whatever the plan, we don't have it. Or even if the plan is we going to wake up the 12 tribes, we're going to wake up the elect, and then Christ's supposed to come. Where's the plan? Let's sit down and build a plan. Okay, well, how are we going to do this? What's the best way to do this? Where can we put our finances? Where can we put the energy into doing these things and accomplishing these things? But if we're all divided, then it limits it. It limits the reach. It limits it. And so do we really want to go home? You see, our brain don't be on that. Our brain don't be on no kingdom, man. All we can think about is this place. All we can visualize the kingdom being is this place with, I can't say in righteousness, but just this place all over again. This place, but us in control. Still have the liquor stores, still have the concubines and the harlots. You still get your 7 to 10 wives you can sleep with, and you don't die. You come back and you resurrect, and you keep coming back. And we having the oppressors in chains. We see the kingdom as America, but with us in control. And I don't know, y'all. I don't know, man. But I'm a year with that, y'all, man. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a great Shabbat. Those that's observing. I'm ready to work for the kingdom to come. Come. And it's, we can have the laborers, but we need the plan. We need the plan. We can't just have people and then people just doing. We got people, ain't no organizing. People are just there. And then we had the unity camps, but we weren't. If you've been to the big unity camps when they were doing the Mashara Yasharala, if you were going to those type of things, those discussions weren't being made on how we gonna move as an organization, how we gonna move, even before we get there, man, we gotta be checking each other on sin and look, because these things will plague. Even if we try to build a community, or even if we try to put our resources in one pot and try to, okay, well, this is gonna be for this and this gonna be for that. Man, people gotta be wise, and you don't know how somebody gonna act. You don't know how somebody gonna spend some money. They get $1 million. If $1 million just dropped into your account from all the different camps and organizations, man, you don't know how that individual ain't been tested. Ain't many of us been tested like that. That's light money for some of our brothers. Some of these organizations got millions of dollars. I forget who that was. What camp was that, man? I want to say it was It was either IGOC or GOCC. They said they had 11,000 members. Man, they passed over. They have to rent out an arena. 11,000 members. You got 11,000 members. If every member doing $20 a week, which is light. That's a good load of resources. And even the church, even the black church, we don't even talk about how much money going through there. But if it's not organized, it's just all separated. And that's why the church can't do nothing. They can't do nothing but build a bigger church, build a daycare, but it's only for their members. But if that mega church came with that mega church, with that mega church, and that mega church, and that mega church, and that mega church, and funds were, put to the side. Of course, you got to take care of the building and people that work there and all that stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff that comes with having them and 100-year mortgages and a lot of stuff that we don't know about these mega churches that they have to deal with. We don't know the business aspect of running a church of that size or having a building of that size, but there's something called legacy loans. like a TD Jakes can receive a legacy loan where he can get his daughters. He can get 100-year mortgage on those buildings and give his daughters a church and get that daughter and give him a church just based off of his legacy, because they know that his name is going to make money even when he's in the grave. Probably even more money. But, you know, that's beyond us. You know, that's beyond us. We don't even, it's hard for us to keep a storefront. To be 100. It's hard to manage a storefront. But, yeah, man, we got to just, but like I said, we far from it. We just got to stop the beef first. We got to stop the beef amongst each other and learn how to forgive. Learn how to forgive. It's a lot of people that have been in certain organizations that got hurt. Even the brothers I showed y'all in the video that I showed y'all with the Venezuela meet, they come from an organization where they were hurt. And a lot of times organizations, when certain things happen, they don't want nothing else to do with you, or the vice versa. The people who either got kicked out or either had to leave for certain things, certain reasons, they don't want to deal with each other. Even though they done built another organization. And it don't matter how many camps we build or how many organizations we build. We have, our common theme should be the kingdom. We should, our common theme should be, hey man, we trying to get into the kingdom. And what do we need to do to get in the kingdom? And how can we apply resources to ensure, or not ensure, to better ensure that that we doing this, that we're on the straight and narrow, and that we helping, and that we're doing the work, you know, and that we're doing, and that our labors are not in vain. But these are talks I want, man, you know, to have the debates on whether the chart is real and whose is this and whose is this. You know, that's, you know, we got to work out our doctrinal differences, but we do need to start at least just looking at what we can grasp and we can come together on. What we can grasp and come together on. But at the same, man, I don't know, man. We got a ways to go, man. And understand too, man, it's a lot of, these folks are inside of these bodies, man. These folks are watching. They inside of these bodies. And again, I am finna close out here, y'all. They I don't know if y'all seen that video Deacon did on the they had this website with people's names on it and their occupation, and they labeling them a hate group. They in a hate group and stuff like that, man. So I'm gonna just leave y'all with that information, that, man, don't, you know, these organizations, don't give nobody your ID and stuff, man. Don't give nobody your driver license and have them copying that stuff. Don't trust nobody with that information unless you really, really have proven these folks. All right, prove it from scripture says, prove it right there in Sirach 6:8. Said, prove a friend. Make sure you prove, brothers, before you're giving them your information, man. And you know, I've seen a couple of different camps that's doing these things. On the other end, I do get, man, we need to know who's around us and so forth. But as far as the copying and all of that, man, just be mindful of that. Just be mindful of that. But I pray this thing was edifying, man. I pray that that Israel does, you know, finally, you know, since kind of drop some of these grievances and try to and have a more forgiving heart, have a more merciful spirit, and definitely walk in more righteousness, that we can become better lights and usher in this kingdom. Again, I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed, y'all. Shalom.